Hello students, today we are going to study law of conservation of momentum. This law is very simple, let us understand this. First thing you should know what is momentum. Momentum is the product of mass and velocity. So momentum is depending on both mass and velocity, and you have already seen the concept of momentum in Newton's second law of motion. Now let us see the derivation of law of conservation of momentum. So there are two objects. Consider there are two objects A and B. Okay, so the initial mass of the object is m1 and mass of object B is m2. Then initial velocity of that object A is u1, because you know that initial velocity is always denoted by small u. Okay, and initial velocity of object B is u2. Now suppose that by any means the two objects collide with each other. Whatever may be the direction of collision, two objects collide with each other. Then after collision, the mass will remain same because there is no loss or gain in the mass. So mass of the object after collision is also m1 and m2. Then but velocity will change because they both strike each other, so their velocity will be changed. So final velocity of the object A and B will be v1 and v2. You know that final velocity is denoted by v and v. So it is object A and B are different, that's why v1 and v2, they are the final velocity of object. Now force is denoted by F, but here two forces are acting. So when the two bodies collide, so both body will apply force to each other. So force on A due to B will be F1 and force of B due to A is F2. Okay. Now let us see the initial momentum and final momentum. See, momentum is product of mass and velocity. So initial momentum is product of mass and initial velocity because it is initial momentum. So mass is m1 and initial velocity is u1. So mass into velocity is the initial momentum of that object. So for object A, momentum is m1 u1, and for object B, momentum is m2 into u2. In the same way, after collision, again the momentum will be equal to product of mass and velocity. So final momentum is equal of A is m1 v1 and final momentum of B is m2 v2, like this. Okay, so we have considered. Now we have seen some basic conventions for various things. Now let us see acceleration. You all know that acceleration is equal to change in velocity upon time taken for change. So this is general formula for acceleration, v minus u upon t, that is final velocity minus initial velocity upon t, that is time taken for change. Now let us see in this case what will be the acceleration. So here both objects are striking to each other, that's why A1 is the acceleration for object A and A2 is the acceleration for object B. So obviously after collision they have different acceleration, so it is object 1. So that's why we are considering v1 and u1 here. So v1 is the final velocity of object 1 and u1 is the initial velocity of object 1. So acceleration for object A is equal to A1 is equal to v1 minus u1 upon t. In the same way, acceleration for object B is equal to final velocity of B minus initial velocity of B. Okay, we have seen final velocity and initial velocity is u2. So final velocity minus initial velocity upon time. So you understood now acceleration for object A is A1 is equal to this and A2 is equal to this. Now according to Newton's third law of motion, you know that Newton's third law of motion is action and reaction are equal and opposite. So to every action there is equal and opposite reaction. So obviously when two objects collide, they will do action and reaction to each other. Okay, for example, A is colliding on B, so then B will also show reverse action. So if you throw a ball on the wall, so ball will again come back to you because it is a reaction force. So in the same way, the force exerted by object A on B, that is F2, and force exerted by object B on A, F1, must be equal and opposite to each other because action and reaction are equal and opposite. So these two objects are colliding, so their force will be equal and opposite to each other. So here, therefore F2 is equal to minus F1. Okay, F2 is equal to minus F1. Now let us put the value of force, formula of force here. See, force is equal to mass into acceleration. So this is object 2, so that's why here we are considering mass of the second object and acceleration of the second object. So force is equal to m2 into a2 because it is F2. In the same way, F1 is for object 1. So here mass and acceleration is for a object 1, that is m1a1. So F1 is equal to m1a1, and this minus sign will remain as it is. Now you all know that acceleration is equal to change in velocity upon time. We have just seen a2 is equal to this and a1 is equal to this. So put these values in this equation. Okay, now m2 into a2, so a2 value is v2 minus u2 upon t, we have just seen now. Okay, and in the same way minus m1 into a1, and a1 value we have seen, this is this one, that is v1 minus u1 upon t. So we have put the same value here. Now you know that t is common on left hand side and right hand side both, and here t is in division form, here also t is in division form. So when this t is transferred to the other side, this t will go in multiplication form because it is changing its side. So this t will come here in the multiplication form, and that t and this t will get cancelled. So you can say that these two t's will get cancelled. Okay, if you shift one of the t on the other side, that both t will get cancelled. Now what is remaining? m2 into v2 minus u2, here this one, and here m1 into minus m1 into v1 minus u1. Now simply opening the bracket, you know that how to open the bracket. First this multiply by this and this multiply by this. So m2 v2 minus m2 u2. Okay, here also minus sign is there, that's why minus m1 v1, here minus and minus plus. Okay, minus into minus plus. So minus m1 into minus u1, m1 u1. So we have opened the bracket. Now which are the like terms? You know that like terms are having same coefficient, same. Okay, so here you can see m2 v2 and m1 v1 are like terms. Here m2 u2 and m1 u1 is like term. So let us take the like terms, shift the like terms in same side. So here you can shift this m1 v1 on the left hand side. So this minus m1 v1 will become plus because it is shifted on the left side. So here it will become plus m1 v1 and m2 v2 is as it is. Now this is minus m2 u2. If you shift this minus m2 u2 on the other side, that is right side, this sign will change. So this will become plus m2 u2. So m1 u1 is already here. So okay, so here which are the like terms which we have seen just now? See, m1 v1 and m2 v2. Okay, and what are the other like terms? See, what are the other like terms? m2 u2 and m1 u1. So we have shift here m1 u1 and m2 u2, m1 u1 and m2 u2, m2 v2. See, so this is nothing but, see, m1 v1 was our what? Final momentum. Here you can see m1 v1 and m2 v2 is the final momentum. So this is, if you add this, so this will become sum of final momentum, total magnitude of final momentum. So now what is m1 u1 and m2 u2? We have seen now m1 u1 and m2 u2 is initial momentum. So here we are getting here sum of initial momentum, and this is on the left side we are getting sum of final momentum. So this is for momentum for object A, this is for momentum for object B. Here this is also, this is initial momentum for object A, and this is initial momentum for object B. So you come to conclusion that total momentum, total final momentum, that is total magnitude of final momentum, is always equal to the total magnitude of initial momentum. So this is nothing but the law of conservation of momentum, means the momentum is conserved. Okay, so now you got the meaning of conservation. So conservation means what? Anything which is saved or which is conserved. So here momentum, initial momentum and final momentum are conserved, means they are equal. So you got the derivation. So this is the final equation for law of conservation of momentum, that is m1 v1 plus m2 u2 is equal to m1 u1 plus m2 u2. So I hope you understood this definition, and if any doubt is there you can ask me again. Thank you students. Have a nice day.